FlossTube, and welcome. It is April the 26th of 2019. This was delayed more than I had thought. I'm not going to do an update today. That will most likely happen in the beginning of May if I can find the time. We have had Easter, so things have been a little bit hectic around here, and I constantly have my husband and son around me all Easter, and that just made it so I haven't filmed in a while. Nothing special, just life happens. I will try and keep this short and sweet, famous last words. This will be my Stitch Mania plans for 2019, what I'm going to do. The last weeks I have been going back and forth about what I want to do and what I don't want to do, and tried to find something that could work. So there will not be an A to C stitch with me today. It's Friday because I haven't had time to film anything. So, but I hope to maybe get on track this coming week. So either the next Friday or the Friday after that, you will for sure see that one. And since I'm caught up, there will be some sneak peeks about that today because that involves my Maynia plans. So let's jump into Maynia. Stitch Maynia. I was first considering doing Monogamous Maynia, which I'm kind of still going to do. But I'm also going to do a goal finish Maynia. And now you probably wonder, how are you going to do goals Maynia and Monogamous Maynia? Are you just going to have one whip and finish that? No, I'm not. So, Monogamania is you focus on a whip and give it extra time, and that I will do. And with Magical School and Stitches, I have to also work on other projects. So basically, and I'm also that kind of person that is, if I work on a whip and I finish it, then it's still Monogamous Mania if I then do another whip, because I can't do more on the whip that is finished. And now you see a little bit how they maybe can go together. So I said I was going to, in one of my updates, I was going to do a overview of a month and do a random number generator and put in numbers from 50 to 250 for each and every day for my Monogamania, for what I am going to focus on to get more time in on it. My phone was charging, so I couldn't use that one, and going back and forth on my iPad, doing random number generator and stuff like that wasn't happening. So in this house we are board game geeks. That means we have a lot of dice. And what better way to do a random number generator than using a die? And since we're not that heavy on Monopoly, Ludo, that kind of board games, you see that I have a D20. That's a dice with 20 sides. So the highest number is 20, the lowest number is 1. So what I did, I wanted my max number to be 250. So 250 stitches is the most I'm supposed to do in a day. And I basically, I couldn't go 25 at a time. I didn't want to go 20 at a time, and I don't think that would work either with 20. So I went down 10 at a time. So 1 was 60 stitches, 2 is 70, and so on until you reach 20, that is 250 stitches. And I rolled the dice, and in the beginning it worked out nice how the numbers was flowing, but then I got some really high numbers in the weekends, and since my son and husband is home in the weekends, some weekends I can get a lot of stitching done, and other weekends I get almost nothing done. So some of the days I still used the numbers I had rolled. I just took, if I had 70 stitches on a Wednesday, I switched that with the Sunday that had 250 stitches. Because Saturday and Sunday got a lot of 250 and 240 and 230 stitches in the end. So yeah, I rolled a lot of D20, and for you who are board gamers, you know that is a critical hit. So I got a lot of critical hits. And I didn't get a single one, which is a critical fail if you're a board gamer. So apparently I should use this die when playing D&D. So what I did, I went into numbers on my iPad, and I hope this will show up nicely. And I made a calendar over the month of May, and I just put in some of my whips. That's not a real representation of how May month will be. I just put something in, and it will change as I work on it, because I don't know how long each different whip will take. So, and I also made a graph where you have Monday to Sunday. It's written in Norwegian, so here, this is difficult. Here you can see it says Søndag, and that's Sunday in Norwegian. And I start my weeks on Monday. That I don't know how you count the weeks in other countries. I know some starts on the Sundays. In Norway, we start on the Monday and count our weeks from Monday to Sunday. So, and I have put in all the numbers, and I also made some squares that I can tap if I can make it work. I'm not hitting correctly. Like that, you see now it's checked off. So for myself, I can check off as I go. And the total number, it says here, it's kind of hard to see, is 4,860 stitches. And that's not a whole lot, but since I'm doing a Finnish Maynia, and the way I have planned to do, that's the monogamous May part, is getting those stitches. And I I just would finish Maynia and me just wanting to get stuff out of the way. That's how I'm going to do it. So for that one, I am first going to use my Butterflies Galore. It's by Heaven and Earth Design. It's going to look like this in the end. Or this is the artwork. It's not a mock-up, so since this is a story keep, it's the story keep of the Butterflies Galore by Jasmine Beckett Griffith. It doesn't have that much detail. And I have it in the hoop. I'm not going to take it out because this I am working on now. And what I actually did yesterday was I have started lately wanting to do diagonal stitching on my full coverage projects, especially the ones that have a lot of confetti. So I tried it on a piece that wasn't very confetti heavy, and I didn't like the just diagonal stitching. Somehow it just didn't work for me, but I'm still working on trying to find the method that works for me, because parking is all about making it your own so it works for you. So even though it doesn't follow the rules that other people do it, it's still your parking, and it has to be your parking to make it work. I already have one method I do like, but it's when there is it can be a little bit hard on the brain if there's not a lot of bigger chunks of color or colors that follow a line. If her face was outlined in one color, it's my way is nice if that color flows all the way down. But if it doesn't, then it can be hard. So in here with all this, there is this 939 dark blue color that is like a lot of all over the place, but at the same time there is a little bit of some stitches here and there is so much going on right here. You can see how many floss I have parked, because it's insane how many different colors is used, because right now I'm in this butterfly and I had a change from green to pink over here. There was a change from the skin color to blue to pink, then to this yellow orange. There is a lot of orange color in this, but it looks more yellow when done, I think. And it's going to be a change again to this purple color and so on. So there is a lot of color changes going on. And it's not always where you think it would be. The colors is kind of like all over. So I started trying to park this direction on this one because I'm doing 10 stitches and just the way I like to park, so I don't have to go up in a hole where there is a floss already parked. But that didn't work for me at all. I didn't like it. It took so much longer. Yes, it was a very heavy, confetti heavy area I was in when I did it, so maybe that's not a real representation of how long it would take. But I tried the diagonal the way Jessie Marie do it, and now Michelle Bendy does it, just with this staircase diagonal, where you just do the 10 by 10 blocks diagonally. And I found that I really liked it, and I work the stitches mostly row by row, so I don't do it as Michelle Bendy and Jessie Marie, because I don't like to have stitches stitches that is done down here and I have stitches to do over those stitches. I always like to just work my stitches downwards, so there's no stitches underneath. Exceptions in this case is I'm doing some feathering, or else I'm pretty sure I will get column lines, because I have a very tight tension when I stitch, especially tent stitching, because I can never seem to get them to lay correctly. It's no problem when I'm doing my full crosses, but somehow my tent stitches never look good in my head when I'm sitting close up. So you can see I have feathered a little bit here, and I'm going to do this diagonally. So I will work on this for my Maynia. And since I'm doing 10 stitches, 2 stitches is 1 full stitch. And I have only 46 10 by 10 blocks left to do on this one. And if you are quick at math, that is 4,600 stitches. And that's not even enough for the 4,860 stitches I am doing for my monogamous Maynia. Plus, you have to divide it in 2 to see actually how many I'm doing. Plus, I'm going to work on this until May starts. Just because I also, now that I know that I like these 10 by 10 blocks of diagonal stitching, I am going to try some of the same way I'm thinking when I do these blocks with my feathering and such, and try and do real diagonal stitching, because this is Rita Marie's stitching adventure and I really like to try new things and not just settle down with one type of stitching. And I think it gives me a lot in the long run when it comes to stitching, because I find new methods, and that means I have more variety in my stitching and what I like to do. So this I'm going to work on. So this is one of the monogamous Maynia pieces I am going to do. The other one I'm going to do is my Lady and the Tiger. You have some spoilers of how far ahead I am. My stitching spot has a lot of sun coming in right now where I sit, so I have to have this just pillowcase over my stitches so it doesn't sit in the sun when I'm not working on it or when I'm working on it. So it's just a pillowcase protection. So the page number 5 is really close to being finished. I think it's about here and about there to fill in. So my plan is to most likely start with my Lady and the Tiger and do at least half of the stitches I need. I haven't counted how many squares is left in this block. So I will do that later on to see, because I'm going to start with my Lady and the Tiger. Because there is another challenge in For the Love of Diagonal Stitching group that is starting from the 15th of May, and that is when I'm going to do my Butterflies Galore from the 15th. So we'll see what comes first. My monogamous Maynia is going to either start right before the 15th or from the 15th in a way. Because I have some stuff I am going to stitch on before that and finish off. So the one whip I am 110% sure I am going to finish off. It's a Winnie the Pooh quote. It was a seller from Etsy that had it, and I'm not going to edit this film, I don't think. So it looks like this. I have all the words done, and I'm just working on Winnie the Pooh that hides behind this log going over here, plus a bee. So this one I'm going to finish in May. It will also be used for Ginger Gerald has a large finish competition to finish a large project before he finished Henry, and so that is what I'm going to use, is my Winnie the Pooh. That is a new start since the last time you saw it, but that is the one I'm going to convert into a baby sampler. But for now, I see it as a finished when I have finished the pattern, and because all the sharpening and making it into a baby sampler, I cannot do it until August when the baby is born. So that is just how it is. So I'm going to finish that one. And then for me, the big question is, how long do I use on it? I don't know how many days I need to finish that off. I hope maybe it's not that many days, but I have put it to have like 5 or 6 days on my schedule just so I get through what I really want to get through this month. And then and you have to remember, with all this going on, I am still going to do School of Magical Stitches, where I will do homework, and I have decided to do 3 or 4 extra credit challenges each week, just so I get them done. And when extra credit is done, I will focus on at least 1 or 2 ultimate challenges. So I hope by May and June is the 4th book, and I hope by June that I can have done all of the ultimate yearly challenges. And because some of them I'm going to do twice, because I don't know if my reasoning is good enough on some of them, so I want some more to get those done. And so July, August, to get those, I'm going to do extra done. And basically from September to December, I will most likely again focus on getting a lot of my Christmas presents stitched and done. So that's that. That's a little bit more long-term plans than Stitch Mania. So what more do I want to finish? I have this little, I call it a half stitch start, but it's a few stitches, but it's not really started. It's one I did start before 2019. This is one of the small mices I got from Cute Patterns by Maria on Etsy, also known as Maria Brovko. And I was going to originally start the mouse with the key, but I'm actually going to do the mouse that is sledding on the snow. And So, because I want to do them all, and I'm just going to do them in numerical order. So the first one is the one that is sliding. So I call this a half stitch start because just one half stitch wouldn't tell me where I was in the pattern. So I did just a tiny bit more stitches so I know where I am when I start this. So I want to at least get him done, started and finished. So, and from here on out, the things get a little bit more obscure of finishes and what I'm going to do. So I promised you I was going to show my Raccoon Cabin. It's from the Frosty Forest series by I can't remember right now. It's the cottage needlework something. So here is where we're up to, and there is still a lot of stitches going on in this block, so there is a lot more to do because it's very dense in stitching, especially this house. But I actually hope to finish this off in May, and this will be done when I have the time to sit and film, because I can't film with my husband around me or my son around me. And right before Easter, my husband was he sometimes get a little bit not angry, but cranky. He's a little bit cranky about the fact that I'm just sitting and stitching all the time and not using any time on him. So, and he recently started a new game he played. It's an old game, it's The Witcher 3. And we are also doing Kingdom Hearts 3. So I am basically, a lot of the nights I would have to sit and stitch and film, I am sitting downstairs with him while he plays and talking with him and so on. So my stitching is going slower, and that's why I don't know how much I will get done. But for May, I hope that I can maybe still take some more time to get what I want finished. So if I am early finished with my Winnie the Pooh and the mouse, and I don't want to start my Lady and the Tiger yet, I also have this set up as trying to get a page finish on this one, because there isn't that much to do on this page. This page, I'm sorry. This page right here, it's going to about there. So I might try and get that done. So a page finish. And as I said, I will see how much I get done of these things. But what I really want to do is my Winnie the Pooh, the mouse, one page on Lady and the Tiger, my Butterflies Galore, that it's 2 pages, one started and one partial. And if I can find the time to film enough, I want to finish Raccoon Cabin. So those are my focuses to finish in a way. And other than that, I have my epic Pokemon that I want a page finish on. My Lion King, I have divided the chart into 4 because it's just one big page. So I hope maybe to get this part done of it. I'm going to call it a page finish just because I can. Raccoon Cabin. I have my temperature garden. This one I don't want to burn myself out on stitching, especially in May. So I want to finish this, but if I feel that my stitching bug is disappearing as I'm working on this, I'm just going to do the 10 flowers of back stitching. There is a total of 20, so it's half of the flowers that are missing back stitching. And then I'm going to do June and July flowers with where I do, if I have a color left, I will jump ahead and do it the other places. So there will be done more than just June and July. So that is the first goal of my temperature garden. And if I feel I lose my stitchy bug, or I come back to this later, or if there is homework, maybe I can knock that out, doing a little by little with homeworks and so on. So we'll see how much I get done on that one. Another one I want to finish is my A Legend of the Blue Sea. I see the time is running out, so I'm not taking it out. You have seen it before if you are following me. So I want to finish that one, but at the same with my temperature garden, if I feel myself burning out on it, because I have done that lately on that one also, I'm just going to finish off the cross stitches in the mermaid. So not the back stitching, just the cross stitches. And she is pretty big, so hope that goes fine. The next one on my list is my Alice sleeping on a clock. Unless I focus on this all of May, there is no way I'm finishing this one. So my main goal is to finish the stitching on Alice, both half stitches, cross stitches, fractional stitches, and the back stitching. So that means I have to do more than just Alice to actually be able to back stitch her. But that will be my goal for what I'm going to finish on this one. So not a complete finish, just a partial finish. Then I have my Haunted Mansion Sal, and I want to finish this first room as a goal to finish in May. And this is the list after what I'm focused on, so I'm not sure I will get to everything. So we'll see. So, and that is so far what I have on my list. I think I have more than I can chew over with. If I manage to do everything I have said until now, focus and not focus, that is, since I count my Lion King as a page finish, as I have divided it, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 page finishes, and 1, 2, 3, maybe 5 fully finishes, and some goal finishes. So I think I have more than enough. Um, but if by some miracle I manage to get through everything, I am going to do one block on the Storytime sampler by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery that I started last year and haven't touched. I also want to going to do a gold finish on the baby blanket. Stitch so I can stitch around the rabbit he is holding and be able to backstitch the rabbit and the carrot he is holding in his hand, the bear on the moon. And yeah, there is a lot more I want to do, like Minnie's still here, work over the top of the page and start working the first page. I'm working over the whole top, not just the page, but the whole thing, to see that, because I started in the right top corner and just the way my brain works, I work better from right to left, the way I read. That's just how I am. So, going to get the top stitched over to see that I am correct, and then do the first 10 by 10 on Minnie Still Here. If I find that I can do at least stairway diagonal stitching done on that one, I might change my goal to be something with diagonals, but we'll see. And I have a lot of other stuff to do and touch and everything. So, and with homeworks and extra credits, I will of course try and implement some, at least the whips I have shown you, I will try and implement them to extra credits and homework as best as I can. I know Winnie the Pooh. The reason I haven't just finished this now in April is because one of the challenges for extra credit May-June is to stitch on a project that has words, not just letters, but words. And currently that is the one with a lot of words on it, so I'm saving that just to be sure it's okay. I have some patterns with just one word, and yeah, so I don't have like a lot of words, I just have some words. My fairy tale land has just the names on the princesses. I don't know if names is good enough for words. So yeah, I'm using Winnie the Pooh because that is a safe bet. And getting the credits now in April or in May, it's the same thing. I'm not bothered. Plus, it gives me one more whip that I have a possibility to finish in May. So, that was my May plans. Yeah, I know, famous last word. Trying to keep this short and sweet. Not happening with me rambling and trailing off. This will not be edited. So I hope you have enjoyed and that it was understandable. I know I try to rush a little bit and talk a little bit faster what I normally do, just so to speed up, to shorten my time use, basically. So yeah, that is my Stitch Mania goals. They are written down on a piece of paper. And basically, I really hope that to get at least my Butterflies Galore done, my Winnie the Pooh and the mouse, and a page on Lady and the Tiger. And we'll go from there and see how much I can get done. I will try to, I don't know if I can vlog because people around me all the time. So there is a big possibility that instead I will try my best to update you weekly on my Stitch Mania. If I can't vlog, then I will at least do weekly updates. So we'll see how far into my list I am about my plans, and hopefully I don't change my mind like 10 times from now until the 1st of May. So that is all I had for you today. I will try and be back and do an update in the beginning of May. I hope maybe at the end of April that I can do an update, so we have a clean plate, clean sheet over where we are starting for May. So that was all I have for you today. Thank you for watching, and if you want to at least just follow my Stitch Mania plans, if you're not our follower already, then hit the subscribe button and you can follow my progress through Maynia. And if you want to see more of me, then subscribe and you can see more of me. So yeah, thank you all for watching, subscribing. To all that are new, welcome. I should have said that in the start. I'm terrible at remembering what I'm supposed to do. So yeah, I hope you will at least follow me through Stitch Mania and share my stitching adventure through Stitch Mania 2019. That is goal finish mania, I think I'm going to call it. So I will see you in May. Goodbye.